And welcome here to the Peach State Basketball Real Deal in the Ville. Marcus Burnett joined by Chris Watkins. As we've got a nice matchup featuring Team Takeover versus SME, also known as Southern Mississippi Elite. Chris, when you talk about these two programs, even though you got individual pieces that we'll be able to recognize throughout this game, you hear those two squads, you know you're in for a treat. Takeover versus SME.
Seeing great things out of both these teams here so far, on the circuit season. Both of them obviously big supporters of what we do here at Peach State Basketball for this very reason right here. You get the broadcast on Prospects Nation TV, powered by SUV TV. Huge matchup. We got Maryland on the baseline. I have almost 70 schools that have been through so far today, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger over the next 4 days.
Both teams coming with multiple contingents in different age groups. Takeover looking to work it inside. The cut, the pass, and the floater's good to go there by number 23. That's Michaela Pippin. Pippin makes it a 3-2 ball game. SME with it. Knocked away temporarily, but SME, they retain possession and avoid the backcourt violation there. That was almost a close one. Number 3, guarding number 3, that's Talia Dixon on the defensive end. Now she switched onto another defender. Tough shot, won't go. Rebound snatched out of there by number 5, that's Melbourne Parham. Pass ahead, sneaking behind the defense and getting the easy finish on the inside. That's number 34, Kate Klimkowicz. So Klimkowicz makes it a 4-3 ball game.
See, Takeover's doing a really good job trying to push the transition here. It looks like they're going to run on every possession here on out throughout the day.
Not taking them long to get off to the races at all.
Let's go.
SME will bring it across. Have a foul on the play.
Let's go.
The Takeover's ball there along the sideline. SME's ball there along the sideline. Another foul on Takeover, much to the chagrin of both coach and players. And also that bucket, number 23 is Raina Barber. Just been given the adjustments in our roster book. So number 23 is Raina Barber for Team Takeover. Number 10 is Michaela Pippin. So it was Barber that knocked down that floater just a couple minutes ago. Stop and pop, that's a contested shot. Working hard on the offensive glass is number 4 there for SME. And is Mariah Hurst. Looked like a pretty clean block up top. Think Klimkowicz got her with the body. First free throw's knocked down. Hopefully that'll tie us up at 4-piece. 12 minutes, 39 seconds left to play here in the first half. Count the second free throw as well. So 5-4, and I think in a game like this, Chris, obviously both teams coming out with good energy. It's nothing like being able to go to the free throw line, get a couple buckets early while both teams are still settling in.
Great offensive players. They always need to see it go in. You see number 3 right there for Team Takeover. Talia Dixon, a 5'10 guard out of 2018. But it's all about seeing the basketball go in. Then the nerves slow down a little bit. It's all about getting those baskets. That's why you see great players in the NBA. They always try to get fouled and get to the free throw line. Reggie Miller was great at that. He missed a couple shots. He's going to make sure he's going to get those easy, too.
Agreed. Too easy is what they're yelling from the Takeover sideline. That's an easy deuce to make it 7-6. Strong move on the inside. Weight room finish. It's number 10. That's Michaela Pippin. Pippin makes it 8-7.
Really like the energy Pippin's brought out here on both ends of the floor early in the game. Made a couple baskets early, doing a good job on the defensive end. You see her secure that rebound right there.
And one dynamic I'm interested in seeing is, Coach Burnell Wesco's team always play very solid, but it's going to be tough to be able to contend with a player the size of Pippen on the inside. From a height standpoint, nobody really there contesting her on the SME side, and even though they will play physical, hard-nosed defense, as you saw on that last play, Pippen really doesn't mind contact.
Yeah, and definitely what I've noticed about Pippen here on that last possession, although it was a foul on the baseline, she's showing that confidence. Bill put it on the floor, so obviously not limiting herself. Being young, 2018, has shown a number of things so far today. Standing at 6'2", has a chance to kind of do something special.
Score is now 7-10 after that trip to the line. Now Pippen out there defending the smaller Ulmer. Now it's up to the top of the key. SME showing some patience here. Just as I said that, they hoisted a three. That was just in and out. Offensive rebound, and the second chance no good. Pippen with the rebound, pulls it out of there. She's looking to push. She'll kick it out. That'll be a 2 if it goes. Won't go. Spinning, unable to finish though there was Rankin as we've got back and forth going.
Yeah, it was one of those, Rankin, if you weren't going to be able to get a good look, you'd want her to pull it out. That's something I'm sure Coach is going to be able to go back and watch here on film, talk about tonight before they get ready to play tomorrow.
Talk about that right there. You see the three-pointer being knocked down there by the southpaw. I believe that was, number 11. That was Jakia Brown-Turner with the three ball. Now it's a 6-point advantage for Team Takeover. 9 minutes, 27 seconds and counting here in the first half. That one's all net, but not the way you want it to be. It's short, but it will stay with SME. Haven't seen a ton of three balls falling here in this one, Chris, but let's take a look at our ProspectsNationTV.com instant replay. You see Pippen drawing that attention on the inside, kicking it out. It always looks better coming from the hands of a lefty. String music there by Jakia Brown-Turner.
It's like an old Kareem Rush throwback for those of you that remember the project out of Mizzou and spent a number of years in the NBA with the Lakers.
That was a very talented Missouri team, man. Kareem Rush, Ricky Paulding. You had the big fella, was it Maurice Johnson?
Yes.
That was a very talented team under Quinn Snyder and those guys. Willing and dealing on the inside, unable to get the shot to go. SME bringing it the other way. 14-7 is your score. Getting the step, but running into some orange reinforcements on the inside. Able to get the block initially and wrestle it out of there is number 33. That's Lauren Ebo. That one's going to be thrown out of bounds. I like this game, Chris. It hasn't been a bunch of points being put on the board by both sides, but I'd say with 8 minutes, 32 seconds left to play in the first half, both of them getting a little bit more comfortable on the offensive end. But when you're running the two well-coached teams that play hard, there's going to be a little bit of a stalemate at different times throughout the game, but so far, Takeover with the upper hand.
A lot of games like this you see, and we saw some of this yesterday, on the SUV TV broadcast, as we see Turner there knocking down again in 2019. But you see the offense really start to pick up in the second half. Once they're comfortable, they got their legs up under them. They're used to the college coaches on the baseline. As much as these players, whether it's on the EYBL or whether it's at our tournaments and other tournaments throughout the country, a lot of times you still see that nervousness when those coaches are out there.
Some say if there isn't a certain level of nervousness or, anxiety, a good anxiety, you got to check your pulse. It's nothing like great moments, being able to be on big-time stages. Good competition always brings that out of you. It's not the presence of the nerves that causes you to fail. It's how you respond to it. So I think it's great for these coaches to be able to come and see different game settings, see iron go against iron. The players get better, they get noticed, and the coaches are able to take advantage of a rolling, a Rolodex or Not sure exactly the word I'm looking for, but you get it, man. A smorgasbord of talent here throughout the PSB slate.
Definitely, you know, in and out, no matter what term it is, they're always going to be packed. Always glad we see the familiar faces come back. Team Takeover, you know, they're here every year. We see SME at a number of tournaments throughout the year, and now we get to match them up here on the broadcast powered by SUV TV.
One of the things that's impressive with Team Takeover is that I think it's tough to be able to have the tradition and the reputation that they have on the boys basketball side, but then for them to come over here on the girls side as well and create the same type of winning tradition and program as we see the nice and one finish there off the window. I think it says a lot about the Takeover program to do it well on both sides of the coin in terms of boys and girls hoops.
You know, it's just about the organization as a whole is what you're saying. It's both boys and girls, and the fact that it's hard to see that on both. You don't see that very often, especially at the high caliber level. You might see it at a local team, but I mean the fact that they do it at the level at which they do it.
Yeah. 19-7 is your score. 12-point advantage for Takeover. Takeover coached by Michael Coughlin. SME coached by Burnell Wesco. SME moving the ball around. I think you've seen it's been good defense on both sides. Takeover obviously having more success early on, but I think Takeover's done a great job of really making SME probe the defense. They require 5 or 6 passes just to get anywhere on the offensive side, and when they do get a step, they really had reinforcements there in a timely manner every play.
Takeover's got great length, even at the guard position. You know, that's making it difficult for SME to get in the paint. You know, early in the game, Rankin was getting into the paint out of Faith Academy. She did a real good job, left-handed guard. Want to see her maybe get in, then drop it off to a post player. While we get a chance right now, for those of you watching the broadcast, be sure you join the conversation on social media, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, hashtag PSB Real Deal. Have tons of content coming from you, whether it's the broadcast here. We have new, stories on ProspectsNation.com. Be sure to follow at SUVTV. Also producing great content, a number of videos that they brought to the table now here as well that you can see those on Instagram.
Got all different flavors of content. Got the short clips and recaps you've been able to provide via Prospects Nation TV on Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. And then, of course, you got your full game archives here. So different content regardless of what your time span is. SME looking to go inside like you recommended a couple plays ago. Missed the first attempt, and that one goes out of bounds off of their hands. But if you're Coach Wesco, you wanted the outcome to be a made basket, but there they missed the shot. They were right there in a position to get the offensive putback. Just got to, try to do it a little bit too quickly and lost it out of bounds. But that's still progress if you're SME. Unfortunately for them, the train isn't stopping on the Takeover side.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you want to see, You want to get the one look to get the ball rolling in the right direction. That's all it's going to take to go on a run. Obviously, we mentioned earlier in the game, maybe get to the free throw line. And then just like yesterday's broadcast, it's all going to start with defensive stops. So you got to get a basket and a stop. You can't exchange baskets.
Yep. Now it's a 12-point deficit just over the 5-minute mark. They'll take a three-pointer, and that one's off the mark. SME will still look to work it inside, take advantage of the quick guards they have and being able to dish it once they get in or finish. But I think they're going to need a couple 3 balls in order to really be able to shift the momentum a little bit. It's such a great equalizer or a leveler of the playing field. If you're down a little bit, you can be surprised the energy that those threes will give you. Risk reward of that is they can also lead to some fast breaks on the other end, and they don't really have a bunch of points to spare.
Actually had a conversation with one of our lead skills trainers at our Team EBA events, whether it's Super 64 or Fab 5, Christian Simmons. You can follow him on Twitter at WeWorkHoops. But we were talking about those changes in the game. And when you hear somebody yell, "Let's go," you always hear that after a three because you hope a run's coming. Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if you hear that from SME if they start to go on a little bit of a run here.
They've got 4 minutes, 35 seconds to work with here in the first half. That ball goes out of bounds off that corner. Substitution coming into the game for SME, number 20,
Get the new one.
Renisha Gunn, and
Kobe, back court.
also number 25, Azaria McGee.
Hey, all in. Shoot, get up there. Shoot.
Trying to work it inside. Pass is going to be a little bit too tall for Ebo.
Shoot. Get to the free
Turned
throw.
over to SME. They can't hold on to it, so it will stick
Morgan,
with Takeover.
face it. Morgan. Get up.
So still 21-9, 4 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first half.
Slow down. Good hustle, yo. Get back. Going straight up.
Unable to get the initial attempt, but it'll be a trip to the line here for McGee. McGee just checked into the game a possession or two ago. Here she's getting a trip to the charity stripe. Three minutes, 57 seconds remaining on the clock here in the first half. If you're SME, you've got to be able to take advantage of these freebies.
And what's making it difficult for them is that Team Takeover just keeps throwing bodies at them on the interiors. You see Pippin step back in the game right now after making an impact there earlier. That's energy that they're providing, so you don't get players that are getting tired out there, and they're really getting into the legs of the SME players here early in the first half.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. You got to run the court and be able to contend with the physical presence of a Pippin, then an Ebo. Now they're working it inside to Melbourne Parham. But SME, if it's any program that's willing to take on the task, they are. They play nice defense there on that play, get the steal. Here's McGee. She'll kick it back out. It's a 10-point game. Crossing over, good look. String music on the inside there. That's Talia. Oh, that's Lakira Hughes with a nice bucket there for SME. Got to give SME credit, Chris. They've shown composure. They haven't really compounded the good play that Takeover has made by panicking and trying to get it all back at once. Here they get back-to-back possessions where they steal the ball, and we'll see if they can sandwich that with a bucket here on the offensive end.
That's one of the things, you know, the SME's coach is running his mind is Coach Westco, what he's doing. You start in your mind, you're thinking, okay, we get a bucket here, that puts us down by this. If we get a bucket here, get a stop. And before you know, you've already cut into the lead. You want to get it under 10. You know, it's already there. I mean, it's at 8. Earlier they were down by 11. But you want to try to get this to 5 or 6 going in the half if you can.
We got the and one there. Takeover is bended but hasn't broken when it comes to letting them get back into the game. As you can see them pushing here. You see Pippin running, calling for it. She got a hand on it, but able to pick up the pieces. Power dribble, eating the contact, and one on the inside there. That's number 21, Morgan Jacobs.
Get back.
Free throws missed. Drop off to McGee. McGee can't get the layup to go. Tipped out of there.
Slow down, Kobe.
And Takeover has it.
On in.
They get it up to the top of the key.
Go again. Lupino.
Looks like we're going to see a little bit of a 2-3 zone look here by SME. Trying to shoot them out of it there. That three-pointer's off the mark. Again, working hard on the inside. It's Melbourne Parham. She will go to the line. First free throw is good. Makes it 24-13, 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Offensive rebound by Takeover creates another opportunity. Mid-range jumper, it's money. Number 1, Jakayla Brown.
Let's go. Dig in here.
Brown makes it 26-13. Here comes the screen. Dixon Rankin tries to float that one up. It's no good. Good work on the offensive glass by SME, but they can't hold on to it. Getting behind the defense is Brown. Keeps that pivot foot there and gets fouled. So Jacayla Brown out of St. Mary's Riken. They're in La Plata, Maryland. La Plata, Maryland native headed to the line. First free throws off the mark. 1 minute, 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. Offensive rebounds, not something you can give up if you're SME. Luckily for them, they don't take advantage of it, so they come the other way. Pulling, trying to get the roll, no good. Rebound snatched out of there by Melbourne Parham. It's tough, Chris. It's taking such a toll to keep this 10, 11, 13-point deficit from getting into the high teens. You wonder if SME is going to have enough in the tank to not only be able to, contain the deficit, but be able to get over the hump at some point.
One of the obvious disadvantages falling behind early is that you're behind, but it's then you spend all that energy trying to get caught up. So then by the time you get caught up, it's almost too late, and you don't have that extra energy to get over the top at the end of the game.
Case in point there with that play. She's been playing hard all game. Lakira Hughes, she gets the steal, drives all the way to the other end, has it stolen away, and then it's a layup on the other end. So you look at the energy that it took to get the steal, to push it, then trying to get back on defense just to see the layup scored. It can definitely be a battle of attrition. SME's going to stick in it. I look at one of our flashbacks earlier in the travel season where they came back. I can't remember exactly who the team was, but it was the same. It was the instant replay game where we had to watch the instant replay to see whether the shot made it in time, and it was a come from behind win in OT. It even had Coach Bordenell Wesco doing the fist pump on the sideline.
It was Tennessee Extreme. It was versus one of the Tennessee Extreme teams
Okay.
that happened.
That's an archive you definitely want to check out when you get some extra time. Right now, I'm sure you're wrapped into this one, as we all are, still unable to get it to fall. And that is going to do it. That's going to send us to halftime. Marcus Burnett, joined by Chris Watkins, will be back after this halftime break.